Hello and welcome to today's presentation, which is on email newsletters and marketing, and how do we market email newsletters. And we'll be looking as well at how these email newsletters can be mobile optimized. So essentially we're just looking at email marketing. While it is one of the oldest tools, it is a very powerful digital marketing tool. So simply put, email marketing is a tool for customer relationship management, and it can be used for other things, and we'll look at some objectives in a little bit, but here we've said that it is a customer relation management tool. And if we go back to our basic principles or functions of marketing, we always say that marketing is where we get new customers or keep existing customers while making a profit. And email marketing can allow us to keep existing customers by creating that relationship with our customers. And obviously returning customers are something that we want. Email marketing is a tool for building relationships with both existing and potential customers. So we can use it, of course, to get new customers as well. And it depends on your objective, and we look at these again. Email marketing is a form of direct marketing, so it's going directly to the customer using electronic means to deliver your message to the audience. As we said, it is one of the oldest and yet most powerful of all digital marketing tactics. Why? Well, the reason that it is so successful, or I suppose so good at the moment, even in the age of social media and Google Ads and different things, it's extremely cost effective due to low cost per contact. You can email, if you have a good database you're sending out to lots of people. It can be highly targeted, so as we said in basics of marketing, you can really target it to specific people. Examples may be in a company that I used to work for, a hotel, when we had people sign up for the newsletter, they may put in their date of birth and other things like that, wedding anniversaries, and we could send them promotions, or indeed just something like a special offer because it was their birthday, or we may give them a free gift or things like that there. And you can highly target with email marketing if your database is set up correctly and you have the right information to do so. It's customizable on a mass scale, and basically it's you can customize your emails, you can customize your customers who you're targeting, and you can do this on a large scale, again depending on how big your database of customers are. And we'll look at ways in which you can grow your database in a few slides. It's completely measurable, and we will look at how we can measure it, but again, like most things, like websites using Google Analytics and AdWords use Google AdWords use their AdWords account to measure. You can measure your email marketing as well. Email marketing's main strength is that it takes advantage of a customer's most prolific touch point with the internet, which is their inbox. And I think it's safe to say that most of us have a look at our inbox every day. It's not to say all or everyone, and those that don't are right to stay away from it if they can, but email marketing is really something that people use every day because they're using their emails every day, and it's a likelihood that you will get them there. They may not be using Google, they may not be using social media every day, and they may be using their email account. So that's just a little introduction. An email strategy, the first part of any email campaign should involve planning for the goals you need to achieve. And well, I'm just reading that out, but we've done this in the past in our other videos about digital marketing strategies in general. You obviously would do your market research first. You would be setting your goals and objectives, so you come up with a SMART goal, but you would really come up with your goal or your objective before you send out an email, or even look at designing an email, try to have in mind what is the objective of this strategy before I start designing the content for the email. And then, as with all tactics, email marketing should be considered in line with your overall business digital marketing strategy. Some of these strategies include promotional emails. So a lot of the email newsletters that we receive quite often are promotional, where we're trying to encourage the user or the customer to make a purchase or download something, but a lot of them can be promotional emails, and that is in many ways what you're doing is reconditioning that you have good deals for your customer. And I'm signed up to quite a few newsletters, and when I go booking flights or that, I tend to go back to the flight companies that I know have been sending out hot deals or special offers or things like that there. And the same with hotels and even travel companies and things like that. So promotional emails, and again, if you have a special offer, they're very good for it. Newsletters tend to focus on longer term goals of the business, and again, you're, if you like, building that relationship with your customer. And KPIs are the things that we would measure our strategy, and some useful KPIs, and we'll probably go through them later, but open rates, and that's just are they opening the email, are they clicking through from the email through to the links or the website that you want them to, have these emails been forwarded, which is always a good sign that they're forwarding to someone else. Return of investment, how much did the email campaign cost you and how much did you get back in sales from it. Were these shared socially? Did you get to grow your database? And these are all, sorry, the last two, I'll just go through them. Conversion rate is did they convert to customers? So if you sent out 1,000 emails and 10 of them bought the product, and that's 10 over 1,000, which is 1%. So what is the conversion rate of people that actually bought the product compared to the amount of emails that were delivered? And delivery or bounce rate is how many did not open the email at all. So they're just some terms in email marketing that we use. And I don't know why that image is there. This is a class exercise that I would like you to do. Obviously, if you're not in my class, and oh dear, sorry about that. Obviously, if you're not in my class, don't do this. But if you want to spend some time and just go and research what considerations should there be in designing a mobile email newsletter, and you can pause the video here. If not, I'm just going to go straight into what these considerations are. So none of my students have paused the video, they're just going to let me tell them. Some things that we consider with mobile email newsletters. This is old research, 2015, so it's 5 years old. 53% of emails are accessed on mobile devices. I would imagine that that is much, much higher now, I would hazard. But the evidence is that people are opening them on their phone as much as they do, if not more, than on their PC. So we would have to consider mobile optimized newsletters, as well as that they're just opened on PCs. And what we mean by that is, when we're designing, a bit like we design responsive websites for mobile phones now, we should be designing with the same frame of mind, in that the email newsletter will be responsive on a website. So you want the website to display well across as many different clients, operating systems as possible. So responsive email design is what we call this. And your content should be easy to skim with clear calls to action. And I suppose that is something that we say in web design as well. The next section is just in terms of actual sizes that you should be using when you're designing your newsletter. So if you're using Photoshop and you're going to use 600 pixels wide to display on a typical mobile screen size, and then on a 320 pixelated screen, an email can be zoomed out to 50%. Okay, so just some exact details. Host your email newsletters online and link to them from your pre-header, and we'll discuss what a pre-header is in a moment. That way anyone who opens your email on a mobile, even those whose mobile phones displays emails in plain text, can click straight through to a HTML version of your letter. Design your email in a grid system, and again a bit like a website design. So you're designing in a grid system. This means your content needs to be laid out in vertical and horizontal aligned blocks. This makes it easier to be more responsive. If your links are placed too close together, it will be difficult for users to click on one link, and I think we've all experienced that. So you want a bit of space and not too many links or call to actions. So that's just some information on mobile optimized newsletters. We said we'd talk about growing a database. So how would you grow a database? There's many different ways in growing a database. Obviously, you can use your website as a place where customers can sign up, social media, in stores, competitions, posters. These are just some examples on how we might get people to sign up to our website. Don't spam. Don't spam. We don't like that in digital marketing, and a lot of people do. I don't think it's good for your company or your client's reputation to be spamming customers. So you want to grow your database organically. You don't want to be buying or getting email addresses and emailing people that have not signed up to your newsletter. And there is actually such a thing as an email reputation as well from internet service providers. So I'm not a fan of spamming, and I would always advise my clients and students not to do this if they're practicing growing a database. But there are many ways to grow a database. Again, designing an email, we remember the old F shape, and that tends to be where people click on. So we have a heat map here of how people react to certain websites, and we have the F shape that we talk about. So your most important information obviously going up the top. Okay, so other considerations. Sender information. The reader needs to perceive that the newsletter is somewhat unique and sent personally by the publisher. The subject line may be the most important part of an email. Subject lines help the reader to identify the email and entice them to open it. The pre-header is a line or two of text displayed above your email header. Most commonly, it's the line of text that will direct you or redirect you to view online. And the header is the colorful banner or image that is included in many emails, and this often contains the logo, which is important for branding. Personalized greetings are good. Hi, Anthony Friel, elicit a better response than dear valued customer, and that's just personalizing it a little bit. The body of the email is where the content of the email goes. Don't be tempted to use too many images. They can increase the size of the email and obscure texts, like my badly designed PowerPoint. As I speak, you can see how badly designed this is. The call to action. Email design should support call to actions. And call to actions are those active verbs where we try to get our client or customer to do something. So order now, click here, download, subscribe, different things. These are all call to actions. And in order for your campaign to be effective, your goals and KPIs should be supported by the email's layout and designs. Call to actions can be hyperlinked texts or can be images which look like buttons. Generally, both text links and call to action buttons are effective for generating click-throughs. While you should use buttons for links that appear for your call to actions, for example, make booking, check availability, your email shouldn't be littered with them, and I think I said that already. The best thing to do is test them to see what kind of call to actions perform best for you. The copy of the call to action, so the wording is important. A well-crafted, well-written call to action makes a big difference to the importance of your campaign, performance of your campaign, sorry. So testing this is not a bad idea. Creating content, so email content that is relevant and valuable to readers. So again, look, this is from a digital marketing point of view, we want to make sure that our content is good, that it's interesting, that it's just not iterating the same thing or saying the same thing or boring content. We want to make our content interesting, humorous, involve research, promotions, exclusive content is obviously quite good. So creating content, you want to think about these things, and you don't want it to be too boring. You want it to be interesting for your target customers. Email reputation, as we explained already, is a score given depending on how well your emails are regarded by internet service providers and your subscribers as well. So if your emails are poorly written, constructed, they have a high bounce rate, deletion rate, then your reputation would not be good. So obviously you want good content, and I think spamming does not help your reputation either. So just some interesting things to consider. And then just some measurements that we use, KPIs and different things, number of emails delivered. And we've talked about some of these already, number of bounces, number of unique emails opened, unsubscribe. And you should have an unsubscribe button on each of your emails that you send out. And pass on rate, a high pass on rate indicates that your customer values the content enough. And again, if that's something like I've often passed on, where I've seen airlines where flights or deals, and I might pass them on to my partner or friends, whatever it might be. And click-through rates and conversions are those that click through and convert to customers. And that is nice and simple, a nice simple introduction to email newslettering for you. For my students and their assessment, I would like them to read further this email marketing workbook chapter, and there is an email marketing class activity there. And what we will do is we will discuss this in our next class further. And for those of you that are not in my class or just watching this email to get an introduction, or watching this video to get an introduction to email newsletter marketing, I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you.